Before we begin, imagine falling in love with someone you met only once. You don't know her name, you don't know where she lives, you don't even know if she's real. All you have is a single memory from one magical night at a masquerade ball. That's exactly what happens to Benedict Bridgerton in Season 4. But here's the real twist. The woman he becomes obsessed with is living in his own house, and he has absolutely no idea. This is the full recap of Bridgerton Season 4. Bridgerton Season 4 takes us back into the glittering world of Regency London, but this time the spotlight finally shifts to the most mysterious Bridgerton sibling, Benedict. While his brothers and sisters have all faced the pressures of love, scandal, and society, Benedict has always lived slightly outside of it all. The artistic one, the dreamer, the brother who never quite seemed interested in following the rules of the ton. But this season, everything changes, because one night at a masquerade ball, Benedict meets a woman who will completely alter the course of his life. And the twist? He has absolutely no idea who she is. The season begins with London once again entering a new social season. After the dramatic romances of Daphne and Anthony, the Bridgerton family finds itself in a very different place. Anthony and Kate are happily married and now fully settled into their roles as the heads of the family. Their relationship is playful, passionate, and far less tense than it once was. Kate has grown into her role as Viscountess beautifully, often becoming the voice of reason in the chaotic Bridgerton household. Meanwhile, Eloise continues to struggle with society's expectations. Although she's attempting to navigate the rules of the ton, it's clear she still feels out of place among the constant gossip, matchmaking, and social pressure. But while everyone else is focused on the social season, Benedict remains uninterested in marriage entirely. Instead, he spends most of his time focused on his art and living freely without the expectations that weigh down the rest of his family. That is, until the Queen announces one of the most extravagant events of the season, a grand masquerade ball. This ball becomes the central turning point of the entire season. The ton gathers in elaborate masks and costumes, creating a rare moment where identities are hidden and social barriers blur. For one night, status and class almost disappear, and it is here that Benedict meets her, a mysterious woman dressed in silver. She moves through the ballroom with grace and elegance, capturing Benedict's attention instantly. But it's not just her beauty, it's the way she speaks, the way she thinks. Their conversation feels completely different from anything Benedict experiences with the women of the ton. They talk about dreams, freedom, art. For the first time, Benedict feels a genuine connection. But before he can even learn her name, she disappears, leaving behind only one clue, a silver glove. From that moment on, Benedict becomes completely obsessed with finding her. He attends every ball and gathering in London, hoping to see the mysterious woman again. But the search leads nowhere, because the truth is far more complicated. The woman he met that night is not actually part of high society at all. Her name is Sophie, and she is living a life completely opposite to the glittering world of the ton. Sophie is the illegitimate daughter of an earl who, after his death, was forced into servitude by her cruel stepmother. Despite her noble blood, she has spent most of her life being treated as nothing more than a servant, invisible to the very society she was born into. The masquerade ball was the only night she allowed herself to experience the life she was never permitted to have. For just a few hours, she became someone else, someone free. But once the night ended, she returned to her reality, completely unaware that Benedict Bridgerton has been searching for her ever since. As the season continues, Benedict slowly begins losing hope of ever finding the mysterious woman again. His family notices something is different. Anthony believes Benedict simply needs to stop chasing fantasies and start considering a proper match. Eloise, however, suspects something deeper is happening. Meanwhile, Sophie's own life becomes even more difficult. After years of cruelty from her stepmother, she finally decides she cannot stay any longer, so she runs away, leaving behind the only home she has ever known. But fate has a strange way of bringing people together. After leaving her stepmother's household, Sophie eventually finds work in London, and in an incredible twist, she becomes a maid within the Bridgerton household. Of course, neither of them realizes the truth at first. To Benedict, she is simply a quiet servant who somehow feels strangely familiar. And to Sophie, Benedict is just another member of the noble class she must remain invisible to. But as they spend more time around each other, something begins to change. Benedict finds himself drawn to her intelligence and kindness, and Sophie sees something rare in him, a nobleman who treats everyone with genuine respect, regardless of status. But their growing connection creates an enormous problem, because in Regency England, a relationship between a nobleman and a servant would cause a massive scandal. Benedict begins struggling with his feelings. He knows society would never accept such a relationship, yet at the same time, he cannot ignore the connection he feels. The tension between them builds slowly throughout the season, filled with stolen glances, quiet conversations, and moments where both of them almost admit their feelings. Meanwhile, Lady Whistledown continues watching everything unfold. Penelope Featherington's gossip column adds another layer of tension as rumors begin circulating throughout London. At the same time, Eloise begins noticing the unusual dynamic between Benedict and Sophie, and as someone who has always challenged society's rigid rules, Eloise might be the one person who actually supports their relationship. Eventually, the truth about Sophie's identity is revealed, and the moment Benedict realizes that Sophie is the same woman he met at the masquerade, everything suddenly makes sense. The familiarity, the connection, the mystery, the woman he had been searching for the entire season was right in front of him the whole time. But even with the truth revealed, their problems are far from over. Now Benedict must make a choice: follow society's expectations or follow his heart. Sophie, afraid of ruining his reputation, believes she could never truly belong in his world, but Benedict refuses to let society dictate who he can love. The final episodes bring a dramatic confrontation with Sophie's stepmother, whose past cruelty and lies are finally exposed. Sophie's true heritage becomes known, changing everything. For the first time in her life, she is no longer powerless. The season finale delivers one of the most emotional moments of the series. In front of the Tun, Benedict publicly declares his love for Sophie, defying scandal, defying expectation, and once again proving that in the world of Bridgerton, love always finds a way.